Hi, I'm Neil Sackmary.
Hi, I'm State Trooper Sean Hagstrom with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol Division, PEIO. Please stay tuned for the next episode of Trooper Talk.
And together, we can make a difference. Here we are live on this edition of Trooper Talk from the 360 Vegas studios. We have Trooper Hagstrom, and we have some really special guests today that are smiling because they're so excited to be here. Sir, please introduce yourself and tell us what it is that you do for the Nevada State Police.
Well, my name is Sergeant Brian Drone, and I am the Commercial Administrative Sergeant for the Commercial Enforcement Bureau of Southern Nevada.
And please introduce yourself, sir.
So I'm Trooper Kevin Vostenar. I'm with Commercial Enforcement. I'm actually a road trooper, so I'm actually out doing all the vehicle inspections and work roadside.
Okay, so you have your job, and this morning there was a specific situation that required you to do something that you are trained to do, which is something that we want to talk about, right? Because you are a Nevada State Police trooper, like you can pull somebody over and all these type of things.
Absolutely.
Right? But there was a specific situation where you had to handle something this morning.
Absolutely.
And so without going into so much detail, you know.
I'm more than happy to address that, Neil. So a lot of the general public at large have a misunderstanding as to who we are as troopers, the Nevada State Police, commercial enforcement, what we can and can't do. And so I love being able to just quote to them what our mission is. Our mission as the Nevada State Police is to provide law enforcement services to the citizens and visitors of the state of Nevada through preparedness, prevention, response, recovery, education, and enforcement. As people might know, our mission as the Nevada Highway Patrol is to promote safety on Nevada's roadways through providing traffic services. And what do we do as commercial enforcement? As we've been going over, our primary focus is to, much like our federal partners, decrease accidents, injuries, and fatalities involving large trucks and buses. And we'll get into hazmat later. But at the core of what we do, we are Category 1 post-certified peace officers, which means anytime there's a crime, anywhere in the state of Nevada, we can respond and do what needs to be done. Unfortunately, and one of the reasons why we were late or I was late, I should say, to start this is on my way, there was a subject who was passed out behind the wheel of their vehicle. That subject ended up being intoxicated. And rather than saying I'm commercial enforcement or I'm a sergeant and just driving by, my sole duty is I'm a peace officer. I'm a trooper. And I need to take action right here, right now.
One of the things that we would talk about, and we talk about with Sergeant Clifton, is the fact that parole and probation doesn't mean that you're parole and probation and that's what it is that you do. And when it comes to things that we've discussed here, where sometimes a trooper needs help. And so maybe another trooper is further away than someone that is on parole and probation that could be 3 houses over or 3 streets over, and they help. And the Nevada State Police is one big family.
And that's true, Neil, because you know what? Even if they're on a house check or something and they don't have extra parole and probation officers to assist them, they'll have a trooper immediately respond to them. And I'm glad Brian brought that up too, and I wanted the public to know that too, is that even though they're in a truck, they're state troopers. And we're all under Nevada State Police. So if you think you're just gonna blow by and speed or whatever, they're equipped with radar. They're all radar certified. They do the exact same jobs other than their main focus is commercial vehicles. But if they see something like a reckless driver or somebody at high rate of speed, you're going to get pulled over and you're going to get cited for that.
Let's talk about buses. I never thought about a bus.
Now,
Like, you know what I mean?
School buses or motor coach passenger
I never
buses?
thought about it either, because here's what I'm going to tell you. I look at those people who have the buses that they convert into, you know, motor homes, and you see the commercial driving school, right? And it's like $25,000. You're like, I know how to drive stick shift, right? How difficult can it be? And it's like 15 gears.
Yep.
Tell us some of these funny things that you hear, though.
Oh, shoot, boy.
This is going to
there's-
be awesome.
There's a lot of that stuff out there. We get drivers. We've had drivers. Well, besides just the guys with the CDLs that run into issues, because drivers with CDLs are held to a much higher standard. They are held way above the average person. So drivers with CDLs, even if they get a ticket in their own car, it can go against them, their CDLs. It can actually cost them their ability to drive at commercial levels, even if they get tickets in their own vehicles. So a lot of times we'll encounter that where drivers have gotten a couple tickets along the way, and federal motor carrier will notify the state and say, hey, this guy's gotten 3-4 tickets in whatever the time period is. I think it's like 3 years.
Yep.
And they'll notify the DMV, and DMV will send them a letter and say, you can't drive anymore. Your license is valid for a car, but no longer for a truck or a vehicle. Or these drivers get randomly drug tested. They come up as possibly dirty. Maybe they had drinks, or they had whatever they did in their off time or recreational time, and they get into a little trouble and they get drug tested, come back positive. They end up in the Drug and Clearinghouse, which is run by Federal Motor Carrier. It's a program that prohibits drivers, once they get a bad drug test, they're banned for a year, and they have to
Banned?
they're banned from driving any commercial motor vehicle for 1 calendar year, and then they have to go through the reinstatement process, which is a whole big process: drug counseling, fines, fees, and all kinds of things to get their license and their commercial ability reinstated so they can drive again.
The trucking industry is very important to the city of Las Vegas, and so when it comes to regular people doing things that they shouldn't be doing and having crashes or whatever on our freeways, they hold up not only the commerce,
Yeah, absolutely.
right, but one of the things that I wasn't even thinking about was the fact that, however many hours you can drive, how many hours is it? 8?
It's 11 hours drive time traditionally for interstate commerce, and 14 hours on duty unless there's an exception.
So 11 hours, right? That you're driving, and like now it's 3 hours or 4 hours that you're sitting in your truck, that like your head wants to go against the wall, right? Because
True.
like not you're losing not only your hours, but you're losing your driving hours and these type of things. And so what I would like to touch on to the fact of is that people need to be cognizant of the way they travel the roadways, because there is interstate commerce and commerce in state that needs to get around, right?
Absolutely, and we do have a lot of these trucks that their daily routes are coming from Vegas going up to Salt Lake City, because there's smaller hubs that I think that's what they call it,
Absolutely,
where they just drop off goods, or they pick up goods to come down to Vegas. So you'll see, I'll just give an example, like UPS. They have a giant hub up in Salt Lake City, so they're picking up packages. That driver probably drives maybe 8 to 10 hours for that day, but then he's home every night. He'll start in Vegas, he'll deliver a load up there, then he'll drop that off, pick up another load, and bring it into Vegas, and then he's done for the night, and that's intra. So also, before we get to it, we'll go to the next screen too, because then I'm going to talk about some of the problems that we have too. But yeah, this is some of the things that a lot of these truckers are very safe. I mean, they know what they need to do. Like they talked about, they keep everything pretty tidy. But then you get some that, in the old days, a lot of it was by paper books. And they'd have like 2 or 3 books, and they'd cheat. They'd have one to show you the hours or whatever, and they kind of knew how to get around. A lot of these companies now, it's all computer-based. And they'll be able to talk about it a little bit further, because they're more experts than I am. But a lot of it's onboard computing now, that they can actually look at these logbooks. They're all on computer. It gives the times, everything else. But one thing about these truck drivers is that they're putting millions of miles on. So these guys are like in clubs. Like I'm in the 5 million mile club with 100%. No crashes. Because in a lot of these big companies like Swift and all that, they recognize their drivers.
Yes, they do.
Because they look for top drivers, because they have guys that have been driving 3 to 5 million miles with no crashes, and they want those guys. Even Walmart, we get so much. We live in a desert, and people don't realize this. We don't have the resources to take care of ourselves, of almost 3 million people in the valley. So we rely on all of our stuff to be trucked in or by train. The majority, I'd say 80% of it, is all by trucks coming in.
Do me a favor. Look in this camera right here.
All right.
Okay. So tell everybody that if they want to hang out with you, if they want to join you, if they want to do any of that stuff, where do they go?
All right. So if you want to join us, you go for the Nevada State Police. Go to Nevada State Police, the DPS website. You can go ahead and join us there. We are hiring.
And then we're going to wave goodbye. All right, see you later.